Your life as a software engineer at every level. Level 1. The curious kid. You are 9 years old. You live in a small apartment where the internet cuts out every night at 10. Your father works nights at the warehouse. Your mother comes home smelling like the bakery she runs alone. There is one old computer in the corner of the living room. It hums like it is trying to remember something. You are not supposed to touch it. You touch it anyway. You wait until the apartment goes quiet. You wait until your mother's breathing turns slow and heavy in the next room. Then you sit down in front of the glowing screen and you begin to click on things you do not understand. You break the computer twice. Your father is furious the first time. The second time, he sits beside you at midnight and shows you a small black window with white letters. He types 3 words. The computer answers back. Your eyes go wide. He tells you the computer is only doing what he tells it to. He tells you people write instructions for it in a special language. He tells you these people are called programmers, and they can make the machine do almost anything at all. You do not sleep that night. You lie in the dark and you look at the ceiling and you think about a language that machines understand, a language that turns words into worlds. You are 9 years old and you have just discovered magic. You do not tell anyone. You keep it secret like a small flame in your cupped hands. You start reading books from the library that your friends would laugh at. You copy code from magazines by hand into a notebook. You do not understand half of it. It does not matter. Something inside you has already caught fire. You have no idea what you have just set in motion. Level 2. The learner. You are 13. You write your first working program alone in your bedroom at 2 a.m. It is a calculator. It has 2 buttons. The screen is ugly. The math is wrong on Tuesdays for reasons you cannot explain. It is the most important thing you have ever made. You show it to your father in the morning. He does not understand what he is looking at. He tells you it is very good anyway. You feel a heat behind your eyes you do not have words for. The internet becomes your teacher. You watch tutorials at 3 times speed. You break things. You fix them. You break them differently. You spend a whole summer building a website nobody visits. You spend an entire weekend fighting a single missing semicolon. When you finally find it, you laugh alone in a dark room until you almost cry. Your friends are outside. You are inside. You do not mind. You have found something the world outside cannot quite compete with. In your bedroom, you can build entire universes with nothing but a keyboard and enough time. Every problem has an answer if you are stubborn enough. Every bug has a reason. The world outside is not like that. The world outside is unfair and confusing, and mostly does not care about you. Inside the screen, at least, everything makes sense. You start dreaming in code. Small snippets appear behind your eyelids at night. You wake up with solutions to problems from the day before. Your mother worries. She asks if you have friends. You lie a little. You have people who play the same games. You have voices in a headset. It is not the same as friends, but you tell her it is, and she pretends to believe you. You are 13 years old. You are alone more than you should be, and you are more alive than you have ever been. Level 3. The student. You are 19. You have made it to the computer science program, the one your parents said would guarantee your future, the one they promised would set you free. The first week destroys you. Everyone in your class already knows more than you do. They speak in acronyms you have never heard. They finished internships at real companies while you were still copying code from magazines. You sit in a lecture hall on the first day, and the professor makes a joke about pointers, and everyone laughs, and you laugh too, and you have no idea what a pointer is. You go back to your dorm room and you learn what a pointer is. You do not sleep. You will not sleep for 4 years. You discover that talent is the cheapest thing in the room. Everyone here was the smartest kid at their school. Now you are all beginners again. Everyone is terrified. Nobody admits it. You all wear the same tired eyes and pretend you slept. You take on projects at 3 a.m. You compete in coding contests that end at dawn. You lose most of them. You learn more from losing than winning. You build things that nobody asks you to build. You put them online. Strangers use them. A stranger from another continent emails you to say thank you. You read that email 50 times. You meet a girl in the library at midnight. Both of you red-eyed over the same textbook. Her name is Maya. She is smarter than you. You both know it. You fall in love between compiler errors. The work and the love become the same thing. By graduation, you know that everything you learned will be obsolete in 5 years. Nobody told you this at orientation. You will spend the rest of your career running to stay in the same place. You do not know that yet. You know only that you have a degree, a girlfriend, no money, and a hunger you cannot name. You apply to 200 jobs. You hear back from 4. You get one offer. You accept it in a coffee shop, hands shaking, and you call your father from the parking lot afterward, and you cannot get the words out for almost a full minute. Level 4, the junior. You are 23. Your first day at the company. You cannot find the coffee machine. You cannot find the bathroom. You wear the wrong shirt. Your laptop takes 2 days to set up. You do not write a single line of code for a week. When you finally do, it takes you 3 days to fix a bug your senior fixes in 15 minutes. He is kind about it. That is almost worse. You would prefer he be cruel so you could hate him instead of quietly worshiping him from across the office. You have imposter syndrome so severe you can taste it. It is metallic on the back of your tongue. All day, every day. You are convinced they made a mistake hiring you. You are convinced they will discover it any moment. You keep waiting for the meeting where they call you in and say the words, and you rehearse how you will keep your face still when they do. You attend your first stand-up and you say your name too quietly. The next day you say it too loudly. You do not sleep the night before code reviews. You post a small change with your heart hammering. A senior comments, "Nice." One word. You read it 40 times. You take a screenshot. You do not tell anyone. You break production once. You take down the checkout page for 11 minutes on a Tuesday afternoon. You sit at your desk and you cannot feel your hands. Your team fixes it before you fully understand what happened. Nobody yells. Your manager tells you it happens to everyone. You throw up quietly in the bathroom afterward anyway. You marry Maya in a small ceremony that costs less than your monthly rent. Both of you code at your reception, patching a client's site from your phones during dinner. Your parents do not understand. They are also proud. Both feelings can be true at once. You are 23 years old. You have a real job, a wedding ring, and a fear that lives in your stomach and never fully leaves. You are exactly where you dreamed of being. It is nothing like you thought it would be. Level 5, the working engineer. You are 28. Something has quietly shifted. You still get imposter syndrome, but it comes in waves now instead of a constant tide. You know the code base. You know which senior to ask about what. You know which meetings to skip. You know how to say it depends with authority. This, you realize, is most of what being a software engineer actually is. You ship features that people use. Real people. Somewhere in the world, someone is clicking a button that you wrote the code behind. It never stops feeling strange. It never stops feeling like magic. On your worst days, you remember this. And it is almost enough. You get your first real raise. You buy a small apartment with Maya. The bank owns most of it. You own the walls and the view from the kitchen window. The first night, you sit on the floor eating takeout because the furniture has not arrived, and you look at your wife, and you think, the 9-year-old with the broken family computer would not believe any of this. Maya changes jobs. She earns more than you now. You are proud of her. You are also a little quietly hollow about it, and you never quite say so out loud. And this is the first small betrayal in a career full of them. Your daughter is born on a Thursday in the spring. You hold her in the delivery room, and you count her fingers. And you make her a promise you will spend the next 20 years failing to keep. You will be present. You will not be like the fathers who were always working. You will be different. You go back to work in 10 days. The startup does not care. You work late that night. You work late most nights. You start noticing something new. A tool at work writes code for you now. Small things at first, boilerplate, test cases, then bigger things. Your senior tells the team it is going to change everything. You laugh nervously. You use it every day within a month. Your productivity doubles. You do not tell your manager. Nobody tells their manager. You are 28 years old. You are winning by every measure they told you to care about. You have not slept a full night in a year. You have a strange cold feeling in your chest sometimes. You do not have a name for it yet. Level 6. The senior. You are 33. They promote you to senior. Your salary crosses a threshold you never dared name out loud when you were 19. You buy your parents a new roof. Your mother cries on the phone. Your father says the words, "I'm proud of you," for the first time in his entire life. You pull over on the highway, and you cannot drive for 10 minutes. You mentor 2 juniors now. They ask you questions with the exact terror you used to feel. You're kind to them, always. You remember, you tell them the things nobody told you. You tell them everyone is faking most of the time. You tell them it gets easier, and then it gets harder in different ways. You lead a project, it succeeds. You lead another, it fails. You learn that leading is mostly the art of being wrong in public and not dying of it. You learn that your job is now half politics. You learn that the best code in the world does not matter if you cannot convince 3 people in a meeting. The AI tools are everywhere now. Your juniors barely write code anymore. They describe what they want and the machine writes it. They spend their time reviewing, correcting, prompting. It is faster than you. It is often better than you. You tell yourself it is only good at the easy parts. Then it starts being good at the hard parts. You stop saying that out loud. You miss your daughter's first steps. You are in a war room fixing an outage 3 time zones away. You watch the video Maya sends. You watch it on a hotel bed at 2 a.m. And you say the word sorry to a screen that cannot hear you. You promise yourself you will be more present. You break the promise inside a month. Your body starts sending small warnings. Your back hurts. Your eyes hurt. Your sleep is broken. You buy a standing desk you never stand at. You buy a therapy app you never open. You are 33 years old, and you are respected, and you are exhausted, and you are afraid of something you cannot quite see, moving toward you in the dark. Level 7. The staff engineer. You are 38. You reach the top of the individual contributor ladder. Staff engineer. You architect systems that touch millions of users. You make more money in a month than your father made in a year. Nobody at family gatherings understands what you actually do. You have stopped trying to explain. You sit in rooms with vice presidents. They ask your opinion. Sometimes they even listen. You realize the higher you go, the fewer people can tell you when you are wrong. You start actively hunting for the truth. You keep close the 2 juniors from years ago who now speak to you as equals, because they are the only people left who will tell you when your idea is bad. You call them railings. You hold on tight. Your daughter is 12. She wants to learn to code. You feel two enormous things at once: fierce pride and a cold growing dread you cannot name, because you have been watching the tools. They do not just write code anymore. They design systems. They review architectures. They catch bugs faster than you can. The interns spend more time talking to the AI than to each other. Your junior engineers are not junior in the old way. They are orchestrators of machines. Whole categories of work you used to do have quietly disappeared in the last 2 years. Nobody makes a big announcement. It just happens. You watch the industry conversations. Half of the people you respect say this is the greatest tool in human history. The other half say it is the end of your profession. You do not know which half is right. You suspect both are. You lie awake at 3 a.m. and you do math you do not want to do. How many years until the machine can do what you do? 5? 3? Less. You have a mortgage. You have a daughter. You have parents who count on you. You have a wife who loves you, but has also started sleeping in the guest room some nights because you come to bed at 2 a.m. and leave at 6. You are 38 years old. You are as high as you can climb without leaving the code behind. And for the first time since you were 9, you are afraid of the machine. Level 8. The obsolete, you are 43. The layoff happens on a Thursday morning on a video call from an executive whose name you did not previously know. The call lasts 11 minutes. You are told it is not about performance. You are told the org is being restructured to reflect a new reality. You know exactly what that means. Everyone knows what that means. Half your team is on the call. Half. The company hits its next quarterly earnings target 3 weeks later. The stock price goes up. Somewhere, a room full of people you will never meet decides you are the cost that had to be cut for that number to move. You spend the first week angry. You spend the second week cleaning the garage. You cannot remember what you used to do with weekends before your job took them. You interview at other companies. There are fewer jobs at your level than there used to be. The ones that exist now want you to know things that did not exist 5 years ago. You learn them. You're tired, but you learn them. Your daughter watches you study. She does not say anything. She sees. You get another job. It pays less. It is fine. You tell yourself it is fine. You tell Maya it is fine. She squeezes your hand and does not argue. You realize something in the new job that you did not want to realize. The work you did for 20 years, the deep problem solving, the intuition, the pattern recognition, the machine does most of it now. Your value has quietly moved. It is no longer in what you can build. It is in what you can decide, in what you can judge, in who you know, in what you can teach, in what you understand about people, not code. Your daughter, now 17, asks if she should still study computer science. You cannot answer her honestly for a long time. Then you tell her the truth. You tell her the field she is entering is not the field you entered. You tell her the machine is a collaborator, not a threat, but only if she learns the parts of the work the machine cannot do. Judgment, taste, trust, the things you spent 30 years underestimating. You are 43 years old. You are humbled in a way you did not know you needed. And underneath the fear, quietly, something is beginning to feel like relief. You are no longer running to stay in the same place. You are, for the first time in your life, finally allowed to slow down. Level 9, the Elder. You are 56. You do not work at a company anymore. You have not for years. You teach now. You consult. You write. You have a small audience of engineers who read what you write because you have lived through 3 cycles of the industry, and cycles 4 and 5, and the machine. You watch the young engineers work, and you understand something you could not see when you were their age. The tools change, the languages change, the frameworks die and are reborn under new names. But what makes a great engineer has not changed since the day your father typed 3 words into a black window: curiosity, patience, the willingness to sit with a problem long after it stops being fun, the taste to know when a solution is elegant and when it is merely clever. These are human things. The machines are still not very good at them. Maybe they never will be. Maybe they will be next year. Your daughter is a senior engineer now at a company that did not exist when you were her age. She uses 10 tools you have never touched. She is better at her job than you were at hers. She calls you when she is stuck and you cannot help her with the code anymore. So you help her with the people. You help her with the decisions. You help her with the fear. It turns out this is what your career prepared you for. You did not know that at the time. You give a talk at a conference. Young engineers line up to speak to you afterward. Some of them tell you your writing helped them stay in the industry when they wanted to quit. One of them tells you she almost gave up during the layoffs. You cry a little in the airport on the way home. Maya finds you at the gate, tired, older, still yours after all these years. She takes your bag and does not ask. You watch old code you wrote 30 years ago, still running somewhere, still working, still holding up a small piece of the world. Nobody knows your name is inside it. It does not matter. You know. You are 56 years old, and you have finally quietly understood what the work was really about. It was never the code. The code was the vehicle. The work was the mind that had to learn to see clearly for 40 years in a field that changed every 18 months. That is what the machine took, and that is what it could never take. Level 10, the Ghost. You are 79. You have not written a line of code in years. You sit in a small house near the water. You watch light move across the floor in the afternoons. Your grandchildren visit and cannot believe you used to build the things they now use every day. To them, you are simply an old man who tells long stories about a time when people typed on flat black keyboards and stared at screens for entire lives. You attend one last conference. They give you an award. You stand up and you tell the room about a broken family computer and a father who typed 3 words at midnight and a 9-year-old who could not sleep. The room goes very quiet. Even the machines in their pockets stop for a moment. Maya passes in the spring. You did not know a person could miss someone this deeply. You spend a whole year barely speaking. Then you write again. Small pieces. Notes to your daughter. Notes to no one. The habit of turning feeling into structure never really left you. That, you realize now, was always the deepest part of the work. You die quietly one morning, an old engineer in a still house by the water. But you do not really vanish. You cannot. Somewhere in a data center you never saw, in a language you never learned, your old code still runs. Small pieces of it, Comments you wrote at 2 a.m. in a bedroom when you were 25. The machines that replaced you were trained on people like you, on words like yours, on the patterns of thought you spent 40 years refining. You are inside them now. Not your name, not your face. Something quieter than that. A shape of thinking, a way of approaching a problem. The machine you feared learned to think in part by watching you. And somewhere else. In a small apartment where the network goes down at 10, a child sits down alone at a screen. The child does not code. Nobody codes the way you did anymore. The child speaks to the machine. The machine speaks back. And in a hidden place beneath the child's ribs, something detonates quietly that has no name. The child does not sleep that night. The child lies in the dark and stares at the ceiling and thinks about a language that machines understand. A language that turns words into worlds. The child has no idea what has just been set in motion. The cycle continues.